You ran, a smile from a veil. Do you think you could tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts? Hard ashes for trees.
Mr. Bowles.
Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Gutierrez-Reed has a statement she'd like to tell.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Gloria Allred, Morocco, and Goldberg. And also on behalf of my co-counsel, John Carpenter and Zuckerman, I would like to read a statement by Halyna's mother, and then we have a video of her mother, whose name is Olga Solovey, and she will be speaking in Ukrainian, Russian, but we have English subtitles for Olga's statement. After that, I would like to read a very brief statement by the sister of Halyna, Svetlana Zemko, who will also speak in Ukrainian, Russian, but we have English subtitles for her video. And finally, I would appreciate the indulgence of the court to read a short statement of Halyna's father. We have no video for him due to his health. His name is Anatoly Androsevich. And then I will conclude. I have some photos as well of the parents and sister with Halyna. So thank you very much for your courtesy in this matter. This is a statement of Olga Solovey, Halyna Hutchins' mother. Good afternoon. My name is Olga, and I am the mother of Halyna. It is extremely difficult for me to speak about this. Halyna was the best daughter on this earth. I remember how she graduated with the most excellent marks from 2 universities here in Ukraine. Even so, she left for the USA to study and pursue her dreams. She had a beautiful family, her son Andros. She loved him madly and endlessly. All of her friends absolutely adored her. After this tragedy, my life has been split into 2, before and after. Time does not heal. It simply prolongs my pain and suffering. I have hope that the guilty, those that are responsible for the death of my daughter, will be punished fairly and sentenced justly. Justice must prevail. And I would like to say also that Olga and Svetlana made these videos despite the fact that where they live in Ukraine, in Kyiv, they are being bombed every single day. This is the video of Olga.
Хатчинську, мене звуть Ольга. Сьогодні я хотіла б вам розказати про свою доньку, яка була дуже талановита, гарна, дуже гарно вчилась, дуже добре до нас ставилась. Я пам'ятаю той день, коли її не стало. Мені дуже тяжко без неї. Я не можу. Ой. Так. В університеті, потім вона родила гарного хлопчика, мого внука, з яким я зараз не маю можливості бачити. Вона була дуже гарною матір'ю. підтримувати контакти. Вона всім дзвонила. Ми з нею созванювались кожну неділю. У нас був день, це субота або неділя, ми завжди спілкувались годинами. Кращого друга, ніж Галя, в мене не було. Могла поділитися зі мною усім. У неї дуже гарна сім'я була. Але цей день перевернув все життя. Мені дуже важко без неї. Я весь час чекаю, коли я з нею зустрінусь. Але я дала собі слово, що я обов'язково побачу, що виросте, коли він буде навчатися, коли він жениться, коли в нього буде своя сім'я. І я повинна триматися. Я не можу. Коли Галя загинула, було 3 години ночі у нас. Я не могла заснути, я до 3 ночі не спала, мені було дуже тривожно. А в 3 часа я побачила, що дзвонить мед. Я дуже перелякалась, значить, щось случилось. Бо вночі він ніколи мені не дзвонив. І він не міг довго сказати, що сталося. Він тільки сказав: мама, у нас біда. І хвилин 5 він не міг сказати. Я кажу: да говори вже, що сталося? Каже: Галі немає. Після того я не пам'ятаю нічого. Я була одна вдома. Я кричала. Я йому ще говорю: може ще не ясно, може ще все буде добре. Але він мені сказав, що її немає. Дуже важко втрачати дітей. Це словами не передати. І час не допомагає. Пройшло 2,5 роки. А мені стає ще гірше. Якщо перший рік я ще думала, ждала, що вона приїде. А цей рік я себе настраювала, пробувала змиритися з тим, що сталося. Але, напевно, я слабка. Хоча Галя казала, що ти мама сильна. Ну, в мене не виходить. Хочу сказати, що мені легше не стане від того, що когось засудять. На скільки років, це не має значення. Але я хочу, щоб була справедливість, що хтось винуватий, хай понесе покарання за свій злочин. Мені дуже хотілося, щоб до мене хтось підійшов, мені поспівчував, вибачився, подивився просто в очі, мені хотілося подивитись тим людям. Може, мені було б легше. Але ніхто не підійшов. Я була на похоронах. Я їздила в минулому році, в жовтні місяці. Але я Кроме Галіних друзів, нікого не бачила. І боляче. Люди, які винуваті, вони навіть не підійшли до матері. Я не можу зрозуміти. Ці люди, які причепні до смерті Галі, ніхто до мене не підходив, ніхто не вибачався, ніхто не співчував. Вона дуже багато працювала. В неї весь час був розписаний. Але більше всього в житті вона любила свого сина. Я не знаю, у них настільки були відносини, розумієте? Вона просто не могла надихатися їм. Вона дзвонила йому кожен день, вона розказувала йому казки, вона все йому розповідала про роботу, говорила на добраніч, і він відпочивав. І це було кожен день. Не було такого дня, щоб вона не дзвонила йому, коли була відряджена. Завжди посміхалась, була весела, щаслива така. І дуже тішилась тим, що в неї все виходить, що в неї все складається так, як вона хотіла. Я думаю, що вона була щаслива. В сімейних відносинах в них все було добре. Вона ще дуже хотіла дівчинку. Перший місяць я була там цілий місяць. Коли ми приїхали, я попросила, вони могли кремірувати її не в Мехіко, але я попросила, я хотіла попрощатися. Привезли в Лос-Анджелес. Ми попрощалися, а прах ми забирали через 2 неділі. І тоді похоронили її на кладбище Голлівуд навсегда називається. В центрі міста. Дуже в красивому місці, там, де проходять фільми всі нові, різні. Там велика сцена, там збирається дуже багато людей, і там показують нові фільми, які виходять. І вона рядом з сценою похована. Канал красивий, там лебеді плавають, дуже місце гарне.
I'd just like to add, Your Honor, that Olga is one of the most courageous women I have ever met, in addition to living in the war zone and suffering the tragedy of her daughter. She is a nurse who cares for those who have been wounded in the war. Next is Svetlana Zemko, Helena's sister. And Svetlana says this: as I gathered my thoughts to write this statement, I wanted to start by emphasizing an important memory. When my mother and I were building our homes in Kyiv, one of the most fundamental things we were dreaming of was how our entire family would gather together comfortably at this home with Halyna. As it stands now, that will never happen again. I very much wanted for Halyna to meet my children and my husband. Halyna will never meet my baby boy who was born after her death. Her death has shattered my heart. She was not simply my sister. She was my friend, and in a certain sense, my second mother. The video of Svetlana.
Є молодша сестра, вона старша на 7 років. То вона мені була в якомусь сенсі матусею навіть, бо приймала участь у моєму вихованні. У нас було дуже багато і таких теплих, смішних історій. І коли я була зовсім маленька, то у нас був такий, не знаю, як це сказати, змагання, хто кого передражнить. Але згодом, коли ми стали дорослішими, то у нас ці стосунки із виховання з її боку перетекли в більш такі дружні. І ці межі вікові, вони стерлися. І ми почали там тусуватися разом, десь їздити на шопінг, знайомитися, проводити час по-інакшому. Як я тоді так кайфувала, думала, вау, я така доросла. Вона мене брала десь із собою, ми цікаво проводили час. Навіть просто поїхати на прогулянку, вона мені давала свій одяг, у неї був завжди дуже модний одяг, вона мала гарний смак, і для мене було це так тепло, що вона зі мною ділилася. І може цю якість в мені таку не жмота, можна так виразитися, це може і від неї трохи пішло, бо вона така ніколи не прижимала навіть шоколад, коли у нас був, вона ділила все порівно. Вона не брала собі ніколи більше. Це як по-братськи, по-братимськи, чи як кажуть. Я всім ходила, потякала, кажу, моя сестра в мене найкрутіша. Я ще жартувала, кажу, що у нас я такий ледаща, а сестра працює за двох із нас. Вона дуже багато працювала, щоб дістатися своєї мети. Дуже багато. Моя сестра була крута. Це був мій друг. Це було моє натхнення в якомусь сенсі, бо коли мені ставало якось зле, я завжди думала, ось у тебе сестра така крута. Їй завжди було пофіг на усі проблеми, вона йшла вперед завжди. Тобто ця цілеспрямованість, вона завжди так надихала. І мені здається, не тільки мене, бо вона така взагалі була світла людина. І я навіть не можу сказати жодної поганої або мінусової характеристики дати їй, ніяк, чесно. Не тому, що вона моя сестра, а просто вона така людина. Вона була дуже крута. Сестра в мене була для мене прикладом. Багато в чому, до речі. Вона мені багато чого пояснювала, і у плані виховання, мені здається, що вона навіть більше мені дала, аніж мама. Мені дуже важко про це казати, бо то була моя така велика мрія, щоб ми збиралися з дітками усією нашою родиною і святкували Різдво, або там хоча б, я не кажу дуже часто, раз-два рази на рік. То була така моя мрія, щоб дітки разом гралися, щоб вогонь горів, і всі так за столом, і ми разом. І щоб це було так тепло. Я розумію, що цього вже ніколи не буде. Не можу. Мені треба, я не знаю, втекти. Фух. Короче, как я не хотела реветь. Просто одно дело, когда ты говоришь, какая она классная, другое дело, когда ты понимаешь, и все. Я взагалі намагалася триматися якомога міцніше, коли це трапилося, бо я розуміла, що Якщо я ще буду плакати, то мама взагалі здуріє. Я просто бажаю, щоб ця ситуація не лишалася просто так у повітрі, як випадок, бо люди мають нести відповідальність за свої вчинки. І кожен, хто винен, я вважаю, що винна не тільки одна людина тут, бо ми там не були, звісно, але як будуть докази, як по цій справі, то кожного, кого вдасться притягти до відповідальності, мають нести цю відповідальність. Бо це не тільки життя однієї людини, це ще здоров'я всієї родини і ментальне здоров'я мого племінника.
And this is the statement of Anatoly Androsovich, father of Halyna Hutchins. The demise of my daughter, Halyna, on the 21st of October, 2021, became the tragedy and biggest bitter loss of my life, as well as the lives of my close loved ones. There is no way I can put into words to express the soul-crushing pain and suffering that I live through every day. The constant state of stress, the turmoil of my soul, have drained my physical strength and caused an abrupt decline of my health, with continued physical pain in my heart. Every day I remember Halyna. I remember the moments of our lives. Since she was a child, my Halyna was a very curious and adventurous, hardworking, friendly, and caring person. At 11 years old, Halyna convinced me to show her the nuclear submarine. We walked through each part of the nuclear submarine. As she grew up, it was her dream to make a documentary film about nuclear submarines, with an emphasis on the threat of nuclear weapons for humanity. My Halyna had a devoted and loving husband, Matthew, a wonderful son, Andros, and a profession she loved. In the most developed and democratic country, the USA, I could not have ever fathomed that her life would be endangered while she was at work. As a former Marine officer, I fully understand the responsible and correct way to handle firearms. I am confidently stating that the death of my daughter was caused by systematic, gross violations of safety rules and regulations during filming of the movie Rust. I do not wish for revenge, but believe that each person responsible for the death of my Halyna needs to carry the punishment that is equal to their guilt. Maybe, just maybe, this might prevent the same type of tragedies in the future to others and spare other parents from such a heart-wrenching catastrophe. And now I would like to show the court very quickly just some photos. This, Your Honor, is a photo of Olga and Halyna and Andros.
Are you gonna bring it up to me, or did you want to put it on the?
It's up to you.
Oh, can you? Can you show it?
Elmo.
Thank you. Can you Thank you. The next photo is a photo of Svetlana and Halyna. On the last photo, Your Honor, is Anatoly and his grandson, Andros. Thank you. And as was mentioned, this week, April 9th, would have been Halyna's 45th birthday. In honor of her birthday, our law firms have placed flowers on her grave at Hollywood Forever. May she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Black Magic Tire Wet, now with even more extreme shine.
Your Honor, we just have a brief 5-minute slideshow, and that will conclude the state's presentation. Hang on.
It did.
Wait a minute. Come here. Why won't this go into? Okay, we're gonna have to do this a different way. Why don't we, let me see what the best way is to handle this and like that. May I approach? How about we put it right here so you can see it? And I think that will work for that camera. And don't forget when you get your cue, okay? Space bar, we'll start the music. Let's mic it. And then arrow key will take you from slide to slide. Okay. Let's see how we've got it. So, you good?
Mr. Bowles?
Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Gutierrez-Reed has a statement she'd like to tell the court.
First and foremost, my heart aches for the Hutchins family and friends and colleagues as well. And it has since the day this tragedy occurred. Halyna has been and always will be an inspiration to me. I understand she was taken too soon, and I pray that you all find peace. I am beyond grateful that Joel survived that terrible day. My heart goes out to the film industry for the devastating pain that this tragedy caused and the old wounds that have been reopened. I am saddened by the way the media sensationalized our traumatic tragedy and portrayed me as a complete monster, which has actually been the total opposite of what's been in my heart. Your Honor, when I took on Rust, I was young and I was naive, but I took my job as seriously as I knew how to. Despite not having proper time, resources, and staffing, when things got tough, I just did my best to handle it. Today, I humbly ask you to consider probation, a probation where I can contribute to society through community service, and I can continue my counseling, and I welcome any classes that you may deem necessary for me to attend. I give you my word now that I would strictly follow the rules and respect the parameters of that probation. I beg you, please don't give me more time. The jury has found me in part at fault for this god-awful tragedy, but that doesn't make me a monster. That makes me human. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, and I believe Del Reed would like to speak to the court this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brief statement, it's a horrible tragedy for that wonderful lady to lose her life. Also be a tragedy to put my daughter Hannah in the penitentiary for that. It's alleged she introduced live ammunition on the set. That's not true. Why would she? The two people responsible for whatever come on the set are the vendor and the property manager who had to work for her. On that terrible day, they had Hannah off the set doing prop duties, and she asked him, please bring her back on when Mr. Baldwin comes so he could do a final check on the gun and its instructors. They did not do that. If they had it, this horrible day would not happen. Thank you, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just briefly, Judge, I've made most of my arguments in the written pleadings. And Judge, it's nobody in this courtroom could not be moved by what we just saw. The family, Halyna's family, her friends, it was a horrible tragedy. There's no doubt about that. And it's a tragedy for everybody. There were a number of lives changed, lost. That day, her friends talked about that. And that includes Ms. Gutierrez. I just want the court to know primarily that she has felt remorse. And maybe I've talked to her as much as anybody, at least on the legal side, Ms. Cisneros. She's cried. She's broken down. She's had mental breakdowns. She said, if only, many, many, many times. And it hasn't come out. It hasn't come out until today because of the legal proceedings and the system we have. But she has truly felt remorse, and I will tell the court that. As an officer of the court, that she has indicated that to me. This court has seen jail calls she's made. I would submit to this court that you could probably survey 100 people after something like this happens, including everybody that participated in the trial, scrutinize all of our calls and pick out something bad that one of us said. Because, Your Honor, none of us are what we are on our best day, nor are we what we are on our worst day. And as Ms. Gutierrez said, she's human. She's flawed just like everybody else in this courtroom. We asked this court to consider fairness in respect that this was a cascade of tragedy. As some of the speakers indicated, there were multiple system failures by multiple people. Some of those people have come before the court, as this court knows, and received 6-month misdemeanor probation. Some have not been punished. Some have yet to come before the court. At least one individual is going to be tried in July. And so I know this court has the responsibility to weigh all of that and to determine what is commensurate and fair, as one speaker said, for Ms. Gutierrez. And what does that mean in the scope of things and what has come before this court? And I'm asking the court to consider that. And also what probation might do for her in terms of rehabilitation, which is another goal of our system, Your Honor.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I've made some notes along the way. So if I refer to the notes and I'm not looking at tables, it's because I'm reading. First of all, thank you for your presentations. Thank the friends and family of Halyna for presenting their memories and their losses of Halyna. There are really 3 choices for sentencing before me. What the defense wants is a conditional discharge. This means straight probation, unless Ms. Gutierrez comes back on a probation violation. She won't have a felony conviction on her record, so she can continue to possess firearms. Again, unless she comes back on a probation violation and receives the imposition of the probated sentence. The second one has not been offered by counsel, but I've certainly thought of it, and it's to continue her in the Santa Fe County Detention Center. That would be for 12 months. That's all she's allowed to stay at the detention center. And then put her on probation for the rest of the time. She's facing 18 months. She's got pre-sentence confinement for about a month or so. In this scenario, she won't experience prison. She will be a convicted felon. She cannot carry a firearm under federal law and for a specific time under New Mexico law. And then there's prison. And the state has proposed at 85% of the time sentenced to incarceration based on the serious violent offense statute. For all the fanfare and pundits and finger pointing that has been going on for over 2 years, we were able to seat a jury of her peers who confirmed that they could listen to the evidence received in court and determine the facts and apply the law. They found Ms. Gutierrez guilty of involuntary manslaughter. What were some of the poignant facts that came out during the trial? In her police interview, she proudly owned her position as armorer. On October 21st, 2021, chaos ended after the film crew walked off. Ms. Hutchins and others were trying to rig, if you will, how they were going to keep filming. And what was the defendant doing while waiting? She was loading Alec Baldwin's gun. Did she have enough time to load the weapon safely? Plenty. Did she load the weapon? Yes, with dummies in a live round. Did she check what she was loading? No. Why? Well, in her own words, most recently in her jailhouse calls, she didn't need to be shaking the dummies all the time. Did she check after that? No. And while you've heard her concerns about how she'll never work again as an armorer leading up to the trial, have her concerns changed? No. Here's what she says. This whole thing has been a character attack on her. Just recently in her allocution, I'm not a monster. And what did, where is it? They talk about how much of on the phone, she and another are talking about how much of Hannah's life that they could take up and that this is messing up her modeling career. This is while she's incarcerated waiting for a sentence. And what does she say about the death of Halyna? Hannah is dismissive of the judge talking about someone dying as a result of her actions. Hannah says she's looking at 13 months, which is ridiculous over what happened. Hannah says that people have accidents and people die. It's an unfortunate part of life, but it doesn't mean she should be in jail. A conditional discharge is not appropriate. And the second option of leaving you in the detention center would be giving you a pass you do not deserve. I did not hear you take accountability in your allocution. You said you were sorry. You were sorry, but not you were sorry for what you did. You were sorry for it and hope they can find peace. It was your attorney that had to tell the court that you were remorseful. The word remorse, a deep regret coming from a sense of guilt for past wrongs. That's not you. You're hereby sentenced as follows. Stand. I am sentencing you to 18 months of incarceration at a New Mexico Women's Correctional Facility. I find that what you did constitutes a serious violent offense. It was committed in a physically violent manner, a fatal gunshot done with your recklessness in the face of knowledge that your acts were reasonably likely to result in serious harm. You were the armorer, the one that stood between a safe weapon and a weapon that could kill someone. You alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon. But for you, Miss Hutchins would be alive, a husband would have his partner, and a little boy would have his mother. Please take her. I'm going to ask the deputies to watch how the courtroom gets cleared. Please do an order of remand to the transport order to the Department of Corrections and the judgment and sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We are in recess.
All rise.